We have a Pause 21.4.
And this is the blacked out edition.
Blackout edition.
I'm concerned about heat, like getting hot inside, because that attracts the sun.
You'd step inside, it was like an oven.
Every trailer is gonna have issues, gonna have warranty problems.
Get home from a trip and find things needed mending, gluing, renailing, whatever. I haven't seen anything in the other products we've had that have this type of product for the walls.
What's up, everyone? Shane here with ROA Off-Road, or RVs of America. We're down in southern Utah at the Romer Rally Campout. We do this every Labor Day. So there we have it. Been having fun. You want to introduce yourself, who you are, where you're from, and also tell us about the cool setup and rig you got behind us.
Sure. I'm Ric Martinez. My wife is Sonia Martinez. We're out of San Marcos, Texas, down in central Texas, just south of Austin.
Yeah, and what do you got behind? What do we got? What you running?
Running a Ram 3500 Limited with a AEV bumper setup, front, rear, 3-inch lift kit from AEV, diff protectors.
Yeah, snorkel.
And one little caveat, it's got the high output Cummins, not the standard Cummins.
Oh, geez.
A little bit more oomph when you need it.
Yeah, and you're towing behind. What do we got right here? What is this?
We have a Pause 21.4.
And this is the blacked out edition.
Blackout edition.
I have some questions about that I want to get into. But is this your first trailer you've ever owned?
This is number 4.
Number 4, okay. And previously to this one, what was it?
20.3 Pause.
You actually had a Pause. So this is your second Pause. That's really cool. And prior to the Pause, what did you have?
We had a 33-foot Airstream Classic.
Okay, yep. So you're used to dealing with some high-end premium products out there.
Yes.
What made the move from the Airstream to the Pause?
From our very first one, transitioning from very large, lots of space, we figured out that the more space you have typically, and not for everybody, but we figured out the more room you have, the more stuff you put unnecessarily, then you're hauling more unnecessarily. You know, you'll make 3 or 4 or 5 trips and find something, hey man, I haven't used this at all ever, and I've been hauling it around for no reason. The main thing was striving for quality, ideally American made, and striving for better quality. As we would take long hard trips, we started seeing little discrepancies and inefficiencies in the equipment that we owned. Get home from a trip and find things needed mending, gluing, renailing, whatever. And that's what took us forward a little bit to the Airstream, which held up well, but I still personally, a great unit, but found for what we were doing, it doesn't like to bounce around a lot. and it hates hail.
Oh, it doesn't like hail. Does it get dented a little bit?
Oof.
Oh,
yeah.
Geez Louise. Well, now you got a rhino coated, so hopefully that will hold up a little bit more.
Not a problem anymore.
That is awesome. So it sounds like you started with some standard trailers, American-built trailers, and weren't happy with the quality. Went to an Airstream because you wanted better quality. Weren't happy so much with the capability. And is that a right story? At least it's been your path. So you move into the Pause. What's your experience on the fit and finish versus an Airstream?
The way this thing is built, the Pause unit is built is just amazing. It's solid, it's airtight. If you don't believe it's not airtight, you can try and close my first rear door over here. Even with the vent open, you have to make sure your hands are on the door. You can't just close it and it'll close. You've got to push it. Really airtight system. We found no leaks. I've tried a leak test with little pieces of paper when the AC's on full blast, full fan and everything, through the windows everywhere. Haven't found anything wrong with it. Solid. We don't look for bumps on the highway, but we find a lot. Coming up here, we were coming up 89.
Yeah.
And we got to a certain point on the reservation. There was a sign that said, very bumpy road, caution, very bumpy road, next 24 miles. And I didn't get to finish reading the 24 miles. And I was on a we were on a very bumpy road.
Steering's a little loose.
That's fun. And how's everything holding up overall on the trailer? I mean, you've now owned 2 Pauses.
Yes.
Trading in for, I think this was for storage, right? You wanted more storage.
Yes.
And how have they held up overall?
Haven't found anything at all moved. Even with these bumpy rides, we've at times forgotten. We normally stow everything properly. We've never had cabinets open, only if the bathroom door gets locked open with the latch, obviously. But if we left something on the floor in the bathroom or something, it might be over by the bed or stuff.
Okay.
Nothing's come out of the cabinets anywhere. Nothing's moved or shifted that we can tell. We're always watching the sliding door. Everything's fully functional. On previous trailers, there were little simple things that would catch your attention if you were paying attention. Hey, why do I have to push the door closed now? Or why does it not slide? Our Airstream, the actual sliding door, actually jumped off the rail.
Okay.
And then we had to go through some service to get back on the rail and stuff. And we've run them actually through some harder places, not intentionally, and haven't had anything on these trailers move, the 20.3 or 21.4.
The 21.4. So let's say since you've had 2 different Pauses now going on, how long and how many miles do you think you've put on these trailers?
The first one we put about 3,000, maybe 4,000 miles on. This one, I believe we made a trip to Miramar and then came up here. So we hit 1,800 miles getting over here. Miramar, we probably did a 2,500, almost 3,000 mile round trip.
Okay. So pretty good amount. So
Yep.
you're like 6,000 plus between the 2 of them. So that's very cool. Now, I know every trailer is going to have issues, going to have warranty problems. How has the support been with Pause and hopefully ROA? How has your experience been with getting things?
I've only had to deal with some minor things, and it's usually with Pause. If I call on the weekend, 9 out of 10 times I've gotten a response on a late Saturday or a Sunday. Hey, try this, try that. And then if it doesn't work, then give us a shake on Monday morning. And I can't remember the exact situation it was on the 20.3. It didn't change anything. It wasn't anything drastic. And then Monday morning, before I called in, I got the phone call from one of your guys.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Yeah.
That makes me happy to hear. Yeah, I know we were having some issues on this trip, and it's a holiday, and I called in Pause, and he picked up the phone and, did what he could do to try to help us, which I think is pretty incredible. I mean, some dealerships, you buy something, and if you ever can even get a call return,
Yes.
let alone on a holiday,
Yes.
right? Like, that's just not.
My wife and I, mostly her, did a lot of research, and then our experience with our first one with you guys with ROA, and then seeing the product, and we were, having had the previous ones, we were able to tell the quality differences, and watching the build videos from start to finish, that really caught my attention on the what and the how, because I'm real familiar with a lot of these production processes and materials and how they're used. So we knew we were kind of landing at the right place and the right dealership. We own a small-owned company. We've never advertised. All this 25 years later, and me 40 years in the same business later, it's all been reputation, taking care of the customer.
Yeah.
Being there when you're needed.
Yeah. I think that's important.
Yes.
That's the most important thing, right? You're not in business without customers.
Yep.
Right? So I have a question on, by the way, I'm trying to get Maynard to do an annual trip and invite owners out and kind of give them a 2-day tour, go through all the factories and show them off how the trailers are built and make it into kind of a little experience.
Yep.
I thought that would be, because John Romer, he actually went out to the factory. They did 2 days and showed them all over, and it was just an incredible experience. I was like, man, we need to get like a group of 10 or 15 people.
Heck yeah.
I think that would be fun because what's so cool is they got nothing to hide. They're very proud of what they're doing. They know that they're not perfect, but they're trying to get better and better. And they're very open to showing what they're doing. So hopefully, maybe in the future, we'll
You
get
bet.
on something
You
like
bet.
that.
We're game for anything like that.
That would be fun. So tell me, I think this is the coolest looking Pause. The blacked out edition. I think it's just, people have been just sitting over there and they're like, man, that thing just looks so cool. I'm concerned about heat, like getting hot inside, because that attracts the sun. How have you felt with cooling this unit down with your air conditioner and your heat, keeping it warm?
Cooling, no problems at all. When we've been out, whether camping out or staying at some RV spots, we typically look for somewhere with trees. We haven't had that luxury, so we end up in a slot that has no trees, and it's amazing in blistering heat. If I've made the point to touch the interior walls to see if I can feel any heat transfer, and I can't. If anything barely warm, and then I start to wonder, is that me, or am I imagining it because I'm thinking about it, or what? But our other vehicles, if they were out in the sun for a couple hours, you'd step inside, it was like an oven. A couple of the units, the AC units, struggled
To keep it cool.
They all had dual ACs. One had 3 ACs, and they struggled.
And they still struggle to keep it cool.
Yes, they
Isn't
did.
that incredible?
And this, I can barely feel the heat. It's got 1 Truma unit, and it does get cold. At least for me, it does.
Yeah, a minute ago you said you told her to turn it off because you were freezing.
Yeah, I was freezing.
It's like blowing cold. And I went in there and it was on low. You weren't even it wasn't even on a high earlier today.
Yep.
And the trailer you walked in and it felt nice and cool.
Yep.
And you're running it off grid.
Yes.
How often have you guys camped on plugged in versus off grid? If you were to say a percentage of how often are you on versus off?
Probably on right now, 60, maybe 70%.
Okay.
Because we haven't had the time to make. We've been blessed with lots of work. I don't want to say too much work, but when you don't stop till the 24th of December.
Yeah. You're blessed with work.
Yes,
That's
blessed
good.
with work.
That's rather be busy than not have anything to do.
But the whole roamer community and idea with us watching your videos and this, we just love the Southwest.
Yeah.
And we go east, but we go to the beach.
Yeah.
And other than that, we travel west.
Yeah.
And there's so many places we haven't seen, just like these few trips you took us on this couple of days. My wife can't stop talking about it. I was super impressed with the topography, the sights to see, what America has to
offer
for its people.
So beautiful.
And visitors.
And you've been off grid this entire time.
Yep.
And you guys have been running the AC. Have you been running the AC every day?
We've run the AC 4 or 5 hours during the day, maybe.
Okay.
The lowest we got, power-wise, I believe was 81 or 82%.
Okay. Have you plugged in a generator?
No.
No, so it's been completely off grid.
Completely off grid.
We're going on 4.
I have the
5
generator,
days.
but it hasn't touched the trailer.
Yeah, when I went in there today, you were running the AC and it was at 94%.
Yep.
And you were almost breaking even on your power,
Yep.
which was actually pretty impressive. So the solar's doing really good. And have you been turning the heat on at night?
Nope.
It's been getting into close to the 40s here at night.
Absolutely. I feel it in the morning when I get the dogs out. It's nice and crispy.
Yeah.
But we've had the windows open like you see back there, and the 2 side windows to get some cross breeze going through, and a couple of blankets, and haven't
That's pretty impressive.
haven't gotten extreme
Yeah,
cold
because I
temperature
know a lot
there
of
at
people
all.
have been complaining about it being freezing and turning on their heaters at night. These walls, I think, are
Yes,
incredible.
they are amazing.
They're insulative properties. They're just
Yes.
like
I haven't seen anything in the other products we've had that have this type of product for the walls.
yeah.
And
For
insulation.
Heat and cold is incredible. Well, do you mind kind of walking us around. I know you guys have, I just love the way, because you're users, you've had a lot of different campers. I love the way Sonia and you have like just kind of put things together. And I think people that are looking at these trailers, they always want to know how you're utilizing storage and space.
Yep.
And I really like what you guys, and it's the two of you, and
Yes.
then who else?
Our two dogs.
Two dogs.
Rascal and Khaleesi.
And somebody else too. A little guy in a cage.
Oh, yes. I forget. My wife's blue cheek conure.
Little bird.
Yes, little bird.
That is so
in a
fun.
cage.
So you want to walk and show us around a little bit?
You want to do inside only, outside?
Inside. Let's go inside.
So one of the reasons we switched to the 21.4 was my wife wanted the electric reclining bed. We had that in the Airstream. And the 20.3 didn't have it at the time, and this one did. So she really loved that. Just automatically hit the button, and it reclines. So she found lots of storage bags for her clothing, and there's probably 5 or 6 pieces in each one of those bags, and I think there's like 4 of them in there.
27 hangers.
Yes.
I just counted 27 hangers.
Yes,
Go closer
and they're
to
all right there.
Yeah. So oh. Yeah, over 27 hangers in that closet. That's incredible. And then I love some of these like little, trays that they hold. And you guys take this and set it on the floor when you travel, or you just leave it there?
Up there, they stay there.
They just stay right there.
They just stay right there.
That's incredible, because it's not like...
And haven't found any on the ground.
Yeah, and then I just love
in the cabinets over here, she's found these storage bags, and she's organized her different items of clothing.
That's very cool. How you can utilize it differently. And then, of course, the doggies.
The kiddos, the plan was they use the lower bunk. They love it under. Once you extend the bed, it kind of gives them top cover, and that's their little shelter area right there, and they won't jump up in that lower bunk.
Yeah, originally turn around, and you can see they were going to throw them in the bunk. And she says sometimes she'll go in there and take a nap.
Yeah.
Right? Because the bed will be up in the lounge.
Yep.
She'll just crawl in there. And then here's
our friend.
She said when she shuts the door and she's in here alone, she lets him fly around, and look, she puts the little bowl in the sink, and he goes in.
She'll turn the water on slow, and he'll bathe himself.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, that's so fun. This is fun. Look at what you did. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. We've got storage containers in here that she has found and keeps everything from moving around. They work really well. And we've learned through the process, hey, a little bit leaner, just what we need for the seasons. As far as clothing, as far as food, we used to haul a lot of food with a huge refrigerator and everything, and then kind of figured out, hey, well, we know we're going to point A. For 2 or 3 days, we'll run over to Sprouts or Whole Foods or the grocery store or whatever, and get just what we need for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And then move on to the next spot and do the same thing when we get to the next spot. And don't have to worry about if we have any power issues or whatever, losing a bunch of food or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like what you've done with this oven too, utilizing dual purposing.
Yes.
That.
So I do most of the cooking 98% of the time when we're out. So my thing is outside. That outdoor cooking area is fantastic for me. Everything's there. All my spices and everything in that lower cabinet. Just pull it out. And everything there, unless it's running. And then we jump in here. More storage area for simple items. Just remove them if we need to use the microwave. This was the second reason to utilize one of the storage areas on top, one of the bunks, the top bunk, for storage if necessary. And you might see these collapsible cases here. My wife found those also. So now we have our winter clothes in one for each of us, that of what might not fit in the closets or the lower cabinets. We each have a closet and a lower cabinet, and then we each have one of those bags. So we keep our winter and summer clothes for one season, and then we take them out when we hit spring and summer, and throw our summer clothes in, and don't have to have 2 seasons of clothing in there. Really nice storage area down here for our shoes. Again, they're in containers, her sandals and her shoes, and then mine in another. And we have the vacuum cleaner inside here too, so it's a really neat storage area. And the shower area, we did a couple of little add-ons in it. We installed the towel rack on the right side. She found one, and I installed it. And that really helped a lot with having the towels so that we could utilize the 2 cabinets on the left for bath needs. And she added that little women's mirror there, which works really functional for her. And then these compartment containers up here on the shelf, we just put them in the shower and they stay there when we travel, and then just pick them up. Love the size of the shower. One of the things that drew me to the 33-foot Airstream was a full stand-up shower, and this one is the same size, possibly a little bit bigger. I'm not a small person, so don't enjoy banging my head on bathroom walls or shower walls, so this is a really comfortable bathroom shower setup for us. When we're out and not anywhere to plug in, where we have to know we're going to be several days off grid, my wife has found these collapsible containers. There's one in the lavatory and there's one here for our gray water. And as they fill up, we just go return them to Mother Earth and not have to worry about filling up the gray tank unnecessarily, knowing we're going to be out for multiple days. I think we're going on 5 days out so far, and still have plenty of room on the black and gray water. And these come in really handy to manage gray water a little bit better and keep that gray tank empty.
So another area is this one too.
Yes.
Do you like that? You want to show us what you're doing there?
Absolutely. That was one of my pet peeve things that I didn't have in the 20.3, this storage area that's created by the bunk model. And again, I've utilized multiple smaller storage containers that actually fit in here. There's 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in here right now. And one has our air tools for airing up and stuff, hoses.
You have different types of reducers depending on the places you're camping at.
Power stuff,
Yeah.
flares for emergencies, emergency fire
Yeah.
materials
Just-
to start fires, whatever,
Yeah.
the flares, the fluorescent lights, anything needed for an emergency, and still can easily store more stuff. All the containers are on this side with all the major stuff, tools, and what I just mentioned, and then this is just the daily stuff
And this
that
is
may be needed.
the most important tool. I love that. I got 2 of those. One in my truck and one in my garage. You always need one of those. So it's good for big,
Yep.
what is it called? Hitches and stuff. So, well, this is awesome. This is fantastic. Sorry we got so intrusive and looked in your cupboards and everything.
No worries at all.
Did you show them the lights inside the long ones next to the shower?
No.
Oh, you got to see that.
Want to
That
double
was great.
back? So one of the items, my wife found some small rechargeable round lights, probably 3.5 inch in diameter. They're magnetic. So in the shower cabinets and in the kitchen by the microwave over the sink, they have several modes, off, on, and a sensor. So if you pass by or run your hand over it, it turns on.
Okay.
Without having to look for the switch in the dark, and it lights up that area that you're at. So in our cabinets, the closets also, she she puts them in there, and then as you open it, it lights up for you without the need for any wiring or anything.
It's a small
really
little,
neat, small little.
it's a small little dark space.
Yep.
And you can't really see back in those back cabinets.
Yep.
So when she opened that and turned it on, I was like, oh wow, that's really cool. So we need to find out where she got those so we can offer those to other roamers, you know, because a lot of people just love seeing how you store things, the things
Yes.
you use. Like my wife uses those same little travel bags.
Yes.
That's what we do. She packs all of her clothes, she takes it out to the trailer, and puts them in the shelves or the drawers, and it's really easy. You pull your socks out, your underwear, it's all in one little spot. So it's very cool. Well, thank you so much. I really
Thank you, guys.
appreciate you doing this and showing us
Thank you
around.
for all you do.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. So overall, you recommend the Pause
Absolutely.
product to somebody looking?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got 2 brothers on the hook right now.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
we'll do a owners, what do they call that? Referral commission.
Okay.
You let us know and make sure you get that. No, I'm serious. So we'll get you something. So no, I really appreciate it, and we love having you out here. You've been so good. Sonia's such a sweet lady. Just my wife loves talking to her in Spanish, so it's been a pleasure having you here, and we're
Been
really
a pleasure
grateful.
for us.
Yeah, thank you so much, and we'll see you for sure next year, hopefully.
You bet. Absolutely.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Make comments if you have any questions. I'll make sure to send this link over to Rick when this video goes live so he can maybe answer them. And of course, we'll be there to answer questions that you have. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.